Hi everybody, welcome back to O-Tōkushō.
This is a very confusing episode. I'm Alex.
I'm Jack.
Today we're doing a quick little theory video that I've had cooking up in my little brain palace. I figured we might as well get this out before Dr. Vegapunk fucking ruins everything and just makes all the theories not possible anymore.
Yeah, we find out that devil fruits are powered by mashed potatoes, and all of his, artificial devil fruits are actually penguins that have been painted different colors. But, until that shit happens, we still have, 48 hours to theorize before we're dead?
Yeah, exactly. Before Doomsday.
Yeah. Oh, God.
But this video isn't about devil fruits. This is about the other, more, I guess, ubiquitous power system? I guess that's a fair example.
It depends on who you ask. I think it depends on who you ask. But yeah, at this point in the story, it's become much more prevalent and, I guess, iconic to One Piece as a series.
It's just more,
unique.
Everyone has access to it.
Oh, yeah, I guess, yeah, not unique. It would be ubiquitous. It's just everywhere.
Yeah. And that is the power of Haki.
Yes, willpower, as it literally translates.
Or spirit, whichever bootleg translation you got.
Yes.
The show.
Whatever gaijin approximation to Haki you can get.
With a little fancy text that had the attack names on it. Oh, you remember that?
I remember when it used to be important. Oh, God.
But yeah, this is about Haki. Ever since really Oda did the SBSs on what the Straw Hats would look like when they were 40 and 60.
And the good/bad timeline versions.
Exactly. And it's how could these people have such a drastic change when they're one way or the other?
It could be a lot of drugs and alcohol, but it could also be something else.
I mean, considering that Nami can still look the same at age 60, but
different types of drugs and alcohol. I'm telling you, man.
Yeah. But if things go wrong, she's old lady Kokoro.
Yeah, she gets fucked immediately. Actually, what's the age of that captain in or not captain, but rear admiral or whatever? She's the one that has the laundry devil fruit.
Suru.
Suru, yeah. How old is she?
Suru is 76 right now.
So Suru's 76 and looks like that. Okay. Mm-hmm. She's not pretty anymore, but she's also not hideous. I think a good example of a really old character in One Piece maintaining at least their figure is probably Dr. Hiroluck. She's 150, right?
Yeah.
And she still has, One Piece bod. So it really just depends, I guess, because Rayleigh's also really old, and he's fucking shredded.
Yeah. Shaki is 64.
Yeah, and Shaki actually looks like she's still 25, which is crazy.
I'm thinking to myself, right? Why does Oda make this drastic difference between if their lives have gone well or if they haven't gone well? I mean, sure there is, there's practical reasons why.
Yeah, the drugs and alcohol,
and just who you choose to surround yourself with. But then I'm also thinking this goes back to other people that are in the One Piece world too, right? People like Alvida and Foxy. They're just nasty people for the sake of being nasty. And before Alvida got her smooth fruit, was just an old ugly bitch.
Now,
even though she was physically strong.
Yeah.
For the East Blue.
I guess a powerful dog from the New World would be strong by East Blue standards. But I guess, this would be an interest. I'm not gonna derail the theory, but it would be interesting to see whether or not the characters like Foxy and Alvida, right, look the way they do because of the way they behave and choose to live their life, or if it's just character design.
Going back to that, then, it doesn't make any sense why Kokoro is described as an ugly person too, because she is, besides being drunk all the time, she's
actually very nice. Yeah.
She's very gung-ho about everything. She follows Tom's mantra with a dawn.
Yeah, and we know it's not genetic because, Alvida and Foxy's might be genetic, but, we know for a fact that Kokoro's definitely isn't because we have pictures drawn by Oda of her when she was young, and she was fucking slamming.
Exactly. So then what was it?
Yeah, Well, I mean, there is the rampant alcoholism, but we've met plenty of alcoholics in One Piece, and it hasn't done them in. Like, Zoro's been an alcoholic since he was, well, not even old enough to drink. He's been drinking way before that. But, like, he's a pretty severe alcoholic, and there's no physical problems caused by that for him, anyway.
Yeah, and Whitebeard was downing, like,
human-sized
gallons of, sake.
His sake dish is literally a kiddie pool. Yeah, so... And he was dying from something else, right? And he didn't look bad either. He was just old.
Yeah. And then I'm thinking to myself, well, then there are also other, like, mean characters that aren't ugly either, like Crocodile and Enel. They both are, like, they're attractive young men.
Well, yeah, They got... I mean, Doflamingo's an attractive man, but he's like, he's the worst person ever. Like, actually the worst. Actually, that's an interesting comparison. Doflamingo and Corazon were, even though they're not twins, but they were very similar in appearance, and they lived completely different lives and had very, very different actions reflecting upon themselves, and they looked almost the same for all intents and purposes. That didn't apply to them for some reason, but then again, this might relate to the other part of your theory, because the characters we're talking about... What is the one
thing that all these characters have in common, all the strong characters anyway have in common, is that they're masters of Haki.
Yes, and the mermaid lady, we have no reason to believe... we have no reason to believe she has any of it. Like, not even remotely.
And nor did Alvida, and nor does Foxy.
Yeah.
Then I began thinking to myself, well, I mean, Haki is defined as willpower or spiritual. What if it was, someone's attitude or whatever, and if they're unable to control their Haki properly, it can go on to affect the way they look and the way they their appearance and the way their lives go. So someone can live a pretty shitty life and still be relatively okay, but this thing that's kind of unique to One Piece is it seems to be affecting the way people look and the way people
the way fortune even favors them, their fate. Because, outside of the health problems that become apparent with the Straw Hats if they go down the bad path, it appears that they're also, poor, too. Other things seem to have gone wrong, not just their health. Because in real life, if you don't take care of yourself, you can end up in a situation like that, where you start degrading physically and everything. But depending on what social circles you're from, right, or exist in, that doesn't actually matter, right? It doesn't impact your standard of living, even if you end up being, super depressed or whatever, and end up losing or gaining a ton of weight. It doesn't actually change the amount of money you make or how successful you are.
Yeah, exactly. Shitty, ugly people are fucking
rich as hell right now. Yeah. Or there's really beautiful people that are rich and wealthy, but they're depressed as shit.
Or there are really beautiful people who are just fucking in the gutter or something.
Yeah, exactly. You find just a random farmer in the middle of the countryside that has $80 to their entire family bloodline, and they're beautiful.
I mean, this isn't groundbreaking stuff. This isn't gonna break the universe or anything. But I mean, it does seem Haki is this prevalent thing that everyone seems to have access to. It's just slowly changing the way people look.
I actually think it, narratively speaking, as a plot device, would make sense if willpower, just as a blanket idea and concept in One Piece, ends up being an actual force of nature. And the reason I say that is because One Piece, as a story, ultimately is all about freedom. It's about getting out of oppressive government / relationships / just environments, and finding a place where you can feel truly free, right, and happy to be yourself. I'm assuming that's basically Luffy's goal, right? Is achieve world freedom, not necessarily even world peace, but if that's the idea, right, of the entire series, the general synopsis of the plot, right, that you have a character who's supposed to be the king of the pirates, which is the most free man alive, which is Luffy's goal, right? He wants to be the king of the pirates because he makes him the freest man. If that's the goal of the series, then a power system based off of perception of yourself and your own ability to impose your will upon the world to make tangible change for you makes a lot of sense. It would make more sense than if it was just Ki in Dragon Ball. It's you have energy, and it gets higher when you're strong and lower when you're weak.
Hunter x Hunter actually does the same sort of thing with Nen, in that
intent molds and shapes the Nen that you have, and also your own personality allegedly We don't have any real confirmation for Sasoko. Your personality allegedly impacts what type of nen you even have access to. It's similar in that. I don't think it's close enough to, really, like, speculate anything like that. It's a copy of another one. It's just a coincidence that they're very similar to each other in that aspect.
That is actually an interesting idea, though. What I'm thinking about right now is Katakuri. Like, Katakuri and Luffy now are the only people who have ever figured out Future Sight Haki.
As far as we are aware right now, yes, they're the only ones who have access to that.
Like, not even Big Mom or Kaido have managed to figure out Future Sight Haki. So I'm thinking about, what if Katakuri specifically developed his observation Haki to look into the future so that he can prevent anyone from getting hurt on his watch.
Yeah, with his family, because he has, like, the most fucked power dynamic with his family ever.
Yeah.
Like, it's real bad.
So, what if he, like, his personality and his will, like, impacted how his Haki developed?
I would understand that if Luffy didn't just cop that shit immediately after he, like, fought him.
Well, I mean, like, think about, like, the way that Luffy's powers work, you know?
Yeah, if anyone's able to adapt to something like that, it would be someone with the literal freest fruit.
And especially considering that, like, as far as Luffy knows, this is the one way to advance your observation Haki.
Yeah, he doesn't have the, I guess in this case, the freedom of choice. He doesn't know what else to do to make observation Haki more effective for him.
Yeah.
This would be the only thing to, I guess, model it after. It was a bit fast, though, honestly. Like, he learned it in the span of a battle.
Sure, but also, yeah. I mean, at the same time, like...
I mean, he hasn't mastered it. He just, he picked it up pretty quick.
Yeah.
Considering, I'd imagine this is, like, a lifelong thing for Katakuri. Like, it took him a while to develop this level of observation Haki.
Yeah, probably. But then again, Rayleigh did know that... He says that some people have developed Haki to see the future, which is definitely in reference to Katakuri.
Yeah, probably Katakuri as a unique individual, but maybe in the past people did it too.
Maybe.
Yeah.
But, so it's possible that, like, Katakuri had mastered this for, like...
A while? Yeah.
Yeah.
Because he's pretty old.
Yeah.
He's surprisingly old.
He would have been, I think, around... like 24 when before Roger died.
Yeah, so when Rayleigh was a pirate, Katakuri was a teenager / young adult already. It would be kind of ridiculous if he had that level of observation for that long, and also kind of ridiculous that it hasn't progressed at all since either.
Well, I mean, think about the way the Big Mom pirates function, right? They're very sedentary. That's why most of them don't have bounties over 1 billion.
Yeah, because they just don't do anything. They just make food for their mom.
Yeah, meanwhile, people like Jack and, like, King and Queen will go out and just, like, destroy a country.
Yeah.
Because they're assholes.
Well, yeah, mostly. Not even because they can. They just dickbags. And, like, the Straw Hats increasing in power exponentially kind of makes sense, because they're, like, the most active crew right now, where they're kind of going all over the place. And just... Yeah, they're picking fights with everybody. Like, literally, it could be the government. They will pick fights with, like, ambiguously difficult to define things, even.
Yeah, exactly.
Like Sanji's fight with hunger, or Chopper's fight with disease.
Yeah, they don't give a fuck.
They really don't.
That's kind of the gist of my Haki theory, if you want to even call it that.
That it doesn't necessarily have to be an active force. That it just kind of, at base level, applies to everybody in the world. It's just that those who train with it are able to control it better.
Exactly, and they're able to prevent themselves from, like...
being affected by it in whatever negative way, yeah.
Meanwhile, like, innocent people like fucking Granny Kokoro are just...
Yeah, just getting fucking snowballed by that shit. Meanwhile, Doflamingo's taking all of his negative characteristics and turning them into abs.
And he's fucking just redirecting that shit into...
straight into his muscles and also into peasants that he's killing.
Yeah, straight into child slavery, you know.
Hell yeah. Well, toy slavery, it's fine.
Yeah.
Besides the ones that were given to Caesar, those are just child slaves. Oh God, Caesar, Jesus. It's kind of weird how he just got swept under the rug, isn't it?
I mean, he's with the Vince Smokes now.
Yeah, but, like, it almost feels like he's getting some type of, like, redemption arc with them. Just by, like, helping out these dudes, like, save these dudes that we, like, have a passing connection with. You know, it's like, oh, wow, he could change his ways. Look, he's being selfless and helping other people. maybe.
I mean, there's nothing selfless about what he did.
Oh, of course not. But, like, you know, I would understand if someone was confused by that, if they didn't know the character well enough.
I guess so.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's it for this little video. We're having our podcast editor Julius edit this video. So shout out Julius, and hopefully we can get this video out soon. I'm not going to specify when because that'll just jinx it. But yeah, be sure to check out our other videos. We're got some coming down the pipeline very slowly. Work's kind of hectic for me right now, so I don't have as much time as I would like to have.
And we still have, like, semi-regular episodes of the podcast and a backlog to go through if you are interested in that as well.
Yeah. Do whatever. I'm also going to... I'm working on getting a streaming setup for us ready. If you guys have any comments for anything you guys might want us to talk about, be sure to leave them down below.
Yeah, we appreciate any suggestions you have.
Yeah, exactly. And be sure to leave a like on this video and... subscribe for more of this, whatever this is.
Yep.
Alright, see you everybody.
Bye!